And it is 4 o'clock on a Wednesday, and this is Happy Juice Happy Hour. And I'm so excited. During about the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to try my hardest as a long-winded person to be as effective and efficient in sharing all things about Happy Juice with you, because I know that you're all really busy and you've got a lot of life to get back to, and I want to make sure that you can do that. But we've got a lot of goodness to share over the next couple of minutes, to really help you understand what makes Happy Juice so special and how it can make such an awesome, incredible impact in your life. So with that, I want to set up first the stage for what I really hope that we can get out of today. Is by the end of today, I hope that you will know exactly how to mix and take your Happy Juice to get the best possible results and show up as your best self. And that you'll also be able to walk away from today and then every day hereafter, knowing what tools are going to best support you. So hopefully by this time, your Happy Juice samples have arrived in the mail. Maybe you've already had a chance to go ahead and mix your first Happy Juice. Some of you might be still waiting for that eagerly literal happy mail to arrive to your doorstep. It doesn't matter. So whether you've had a chance to try it or you're still waiting on yours, you're going to get a lot of out of this call today. So let's just dive in. I also want to remind you that if you are able to stick around till the end of this giveaway, or this live, we are going to be doing a giveaway for some of our energy packets, which are absolutely incredible. So I know a few people will be joining on the replay, and I will be sharing more details on how you can get registered for that drawing. So hello, I haven't taken a moment to introduce myself, and I want to make sure that we start with that. My name is Brandy, and I know some of you know me personally. Others of you, welcome. Hello. It's so, so nice to meet you. I'm a mom. I work a full-time career. I love life to the fullest, and I am proudly rural raised. There's a few other little snippets about me here on the screen. I'm a little crunchy. I definitely have a curious mindset. I love to learn. That's one of the things that has led me to Amare, and to not only just take other people's words for the power of gut health, but really to dig into the power of gut health for myself, which has led to some incredible results. And I love just being the person that can help equip moms to live their best life. That's one thing I'm super passionate about, because I know how easy it is for us, especially those of us that are raising families and taking care of kids, to kind of start to prioritize everybody else but ourselves, and then feel like we get a little bit lost in that. So it's one of my ultimate passions to be able to do that. And then also, as a fun little bonus, I am a certified mental health coach. This is one of those things that I've added to my resume that you look back and you're like, wow, like 20-year-old Brandy would be really shocked with 38-year-old Brandy. But it's something I'm super proud of and passionate about sharing as well. So with that, I want to dive in first, talking a little bit about my story and what led me to Happy Juice. And I'm sure all of you, as you're sitting, whether you're watching this live or watching this on the replay, you have your very own reasons that you reached out and inquired about starting Happy Juice and wanting to try the products, right? And I think we all have that a little bit, where when we start to learn about the power of gut health and we start to see what some of these products can do, and maybe the person that you invited you had been sharing their story or some of the incredible results that customers are getting with Happy Juice, and you had this little piece that was like, oh, what if, right? What if I could feel like XYZ, fill in the blank for yourself? I had a very similar story myself. And I know that although this story is personal to me, I'm sure so many of you can relate. And I hear that all the time. This is why I love to share this story. And really, for me, everything kind of turned on. The big light bulb happened when it was 2020. I don't have to go into the details. We won't dive into all that was, 2020 and 2021. You remember it, I'm sure. But it was a really pivotal year for me and how I thought about my health. And here's why. For so long, I am a child, of the late 90s and the early 2000s. Diet culture was one of just the crowning joys of that time of our life, right? Stick thin people. So diet culture has always been a big piece of my life, a big piece of the mindset that I was going through. And as I, transitioned into a stage in my life where I was now a new mother, working full time, there's always that list of things that we think we need to be doing or ways that we think we need to be showing up. And little by little, I noticed that as I got older and as I got farther into motherhood, I continued to notice that it became harder and harder and harder to show up for myself. And 2020 was really kind of the big light bulb or wake up moment for myself when I realized that, health is kind of a big deal. It's one of those things that when we have health, it's so easy to not think about. But as soon as we start to see our health starting to fall apart or not be what it once was, all of a sudden it can kind of feel like you're grasping for a cliff that's starting to fall off in front of you. And that's the way it was for me. And I have this screen up right now, and it's titled The Cycle of Despair. And that might sound a little bit dramatic, but I will tell you what, to me, it really did feel like a cycle of despair. And I think for some of you, you're maybe going to relate with this heavily. And this cycle of despair for me, it was with my health around nutrition and movement, right? Kind of those two things that encompass for what a lot of us women struggle with around weight loss and body image. You can just let me know in the comments or, raise your hand if you want to, or just mentally think if that's something that significantly stands out to you. It's something that so many of us as women struggle with. And for me, it was a huge struggle. And it really did create this cycle of despair that as I got older and as I headed towards that 2020, I really started to realize that I was on this never ending cycle where it would start with, I'm changing today, right? Today is the day we start a new diet. I'm going to show up for myself, right? I'm going to start exercising today. I'm going to give up sugar. You know the drill. You've probably had all of these thoughts for yourself. And I'd start big and I'd start bold. I'd usually do it super strict, right? Because it was like, I'm not messing around. I'm over it. I'm not doing this yo-yo nonsense anymore. And I'd look to people that were doing it. And I'd think I can do that too. So that's where it would start. And then all of a sudden, as will always happen, right? Life would happen. And something would strike in my life where I'd be cruising along. Everything was perfect. I'm not eating the sugar. I'm showing up for my workouts. I'm doing 2 workouts a day, whatever it was. And then as soon as that structure started to crumble a little bit of stress started to enter my life, some overwhelm started to happen. All of a sudden, that's when I'd go for the tried and true, right? I'd reach for the bag of Oreos and say I was going to have 1 or 2 and I'd have a whole sleeve. Or I'd grab a glass of wine and before you'd know it, I had finished the whole thing off. And it was always the littlest thing to tip me off, but it always took me right back into that binge type cycle or that place where I was like, I'm not going to go there. And yet I couldn't quite help myself. And it oftentimes started with that stressful situation. And again, you know the drill, right? You're just going to have a glass, or maybe it's something where you're going to unwind from a long day. And you're like, oh, just this birthday party. I'm going to, have this cocktail or have this treat. And then all of a sudden you'd overindulge. And then that leads to the upper part of the cycle where you get into that, God, I'm awful. What am I doing? Why do I do this to myself? I promised I wasn't going to do this. This has to stop. And of course, then where does that lead next? Right? Back into maybe a couple days of beating yourself up, being so mad, and then all of a sudden you get sick of yourself. Everything has to change. I'm done with this. I can't do this again. Start the new diet. Maybe you hire a coach this time. Maybe you try a new product, try a new diet plan, right? Something's going to change. And yet the cycle still repeats itself, right? It's that idea of, why do I feel like I'm falling off the wagon? Why do I feel like I always have to start over? This was very much the story for me. And I know it's the story for so many women. This can also be in the place of, it doesn't have to be diet and it doesn't have to be exercise. Maybe it's your mood, right? Maybe you're like, I'm not going to yell at my kids, right? I'm not going to lose my cool again. And all of a sudden you're doing really well. And then stress happens. Then all of a sudden you're treating your kids in a way you don't want to be treating, or your husband. And then, the guilt, the shame, it all comes back up. And then you decide to shame, right? That cycle can be in so many different areas. But what I want to remind you is that this is something that you're not alone in. You're not alone at all. But it also brings me to the next question that I want to ask you, is to be thinking about, okay, in that cycle of despair, right, where we're frustrated and there's the guilt and there's the shame, like what can we do to stop it? And really the polar opposite of all of those things, right, is how do we move into a place of happy? And what I love to identify, because we're talking about the Happy Juice product and we're looking at how gut health can actually impact how you show up, how you manage stress, and how you actually have a more happy lifestyle. And what I love to note about this is that happiness is subjective, right? My happy is going to look different than your happy is going to look different than your friend's happy, right? That's all a little different for each of that. But ultimately, it's how satisfied you are with life. And I will tell you right now, in the cycle of despair, there was no satisfaction in the cycle of despair. And I'm going to guess that if you have your own cycle of despair, right, this thing that you're like, oh, I'm just sick and tired of feeling like this. I'm sick and tired of, I'm not organized. I don't show up for myself, right? All of those pieces. That is going to impact your happy. And it really is, again, how much positive or negative emotion you tend to feel. And when you're in that cycle of despair, goodness gracious, it is negative. It is not a happy place in the cycle of despair. So I share a little bit about what happiness is to me personally, but again, I'd ask you to reflect on, what is that to you and what does that mean to you? The reason we talk about Happy Juice and the reason it's called Happy Juice, which kind of honestly, right, it's a little cheesy name. I'll go ahead and say that, right? Happy Juice, like it's like, okay, that's a little kitschy, if you will. But the thing is, that's exactly what it does. And there actually is no better name for these products because they are going to, from the inside out, starting at a gut level, help you create more of that signaling to be happier. And when you are happier from the inside out, it changes everything in the way you show up. And it actually changes the way your body performs. It changes the way your hormones signal. It changes the way you digest your food and your bowel movements. It changes your mood. It changes how you sleep. So it's a really big deal. And the name is so truly apt for what it does. So I really quickly want to talk about the 3 ingredients that make up Happy Juice. So depending on your sample, I'm sure that you got the Edge and Energy combination, or unless you're trying Mango Edge, we'll kind of talk about the different flavor variations here. And then there's a Mentabiotics. So there's 2 products, Edge and Energy, that are the flavor of Happy Juice. But Mentabiotics is like the big heavy hitter and really the star of the show. I'm going to tell you what, it's not the one that tastes the best, but it's the one that does the most work. And those 3 products then together create this incredible experience for you where you are going to have a body that is more able to handle stress, show up focused, show up with energy, and have this balanced mood. But I want to break down kind of what each of these ingredients does so you can know how to work. And then we're going to get into talking about how to mix them up here in just a little bit. So Edge is really going to help elevate, increase, and improve that dopamine response for motivation and drive. I love this product and it comes in grape, it comes in watermelon, and we actually have a new Edge Plus product that comes in a mango flavor. And what's really, really cool about each of those is that the grape and watermelon, so watermelon is going to have some sugar in it. Our grape is sugar-free, and then our mango flavor is actually formulated for more focused energy. So we call it Edge Plus, and it's actually going to have some of that focused energy quality in it as well. Then there's the energy. What's cool about our Energy Plus product is that it is not like a Red Bull or a coffee. It's not that caffeinated energy where you have that jitter. You're maybe feeling like, holy cow, I'm really, 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 really awake. But all of a sudden you can't focus and you're jittery and your mind is all over the place. What Energy Plus does, it is actually going to support that norepinephrine and neuron activation for a clear focus and mental energy. It truly feels like you're in a flow state is the best way that we can describe it. And then for the Mentabiotics product, you are actually going to get a boost in your serotonin and it's going to support GABA for mood and calmness. Ultimately, what we like to call stress resiliency. The way I like to describe stress resiliency, because it was something I had never heard of before, but I think it's really important to talk about the power of stress resiliency, is that we live in a world with overstressed people. Like it's just the way it is. We see it in our kids too, right? If you have children, especially if you have children that are really moving on to that middle school area, sometimes you'll even see it in elementary school children as well. Kids carry a stress that we did not carry as children. And it's a different thing. And I'm sure that you notice it. But it's also because that stress carries on in our adult lives as well. What stress resiliency does and what Amari's Happy Juice does for you is it allows your body to better handle the internal stressors that are coming from outside sources, right? And we know we're running 100 miles an hour, right? If you work a job and maybe get emails that stress you out or last minute phone calls or plans are changing or possibly you don't sleep well, all of those things are stressors on your body. And internally, that's really playing a big role in your signal wires crossing. When you have a body that from the inside out is more stress resilient, all of a sudden, all of those systems and signals can better operate the way they're truly designed to. And you show up feeling better and more focused, and you're able to, really be that person that you want to be, which is pretty incredible. So I talked a little bit about this on this last slide, but talking about, those three products, mixing those three things together and getting that, dopamine and getting that GABA and activating those neurotransmitters. What does that feel like? Well, it feels like you're better able to handle things, right? I always like to say it this way: life is gonna life. Life is gonna life. You have no control over that. You might try, life is gonna life, but now all of a sudden you don't lose your cool. Your mood doesn't fly off the roof, right? You're not fatigued at the end of the day. You have the ability to kind of go into those situations and say, hey, whoa, this isn't what I thought, but I can handle it. It's also that feeling of being both relaxed and relaxed and alert. Can't say those two things. The feeling of being both relaxed and alert. And this is what I referred to previously also as being in the zone, right? If you've ever had an experience where you have operated in the zone, it is the most incredible feeling, right? You're like, oh, I'm in flow. I know exactly what I should be doing. I have focus on what I need to do next. And it just feels like you're able to just stay on task and get so much done. Of course, that decreased irritability and improved mood state, that goes along with being able to handle things better, but also that all day mental and physical energy. And knowing that there's a difference between the both is really a big deal, because you can get to the end of the day, right? And you're just like, my brain is like fried. And it's not necessarily that your body is ready to give up, but your brain is like, I gotta check out, right? Have you ever felt that? I can think back to 2020 when I would get home from work and I was like, I'm going to need the kids to be quiet. We're having whatever for dinner, and I'm going to put on some Netflix because I just need to zone out. I just need life to be uncomplicated for a bit. You want to have that ability to be active in your life, both mentally and physically. So knowing that you can improve both those energies is pretty big deal. So let's talk about mixing your happy juice, because this is where it gets really fun, especially with our new mango flavor, is that there's a lot of ways for you to play with your happy juice, and you will find a mix that works best for you that is absolutely incredible. So we've got a couple different flavors, and you can see here, I haven't added the mango to this slide, so I apologize. I need to add mango on this slide. But we've got a pomegranate lime energy. It's natural caffeine. It's a green tea caffeine, right? And sugar. Then we've got the dragon fruit, which is our caffeine free and sugar free. Our watermelon edge, right? That's got some sugar in it. And then our grape edge, which is sugar free. So what's really cool about these is that the grape and the dragon fruit are kind of bundled together as our sugar-free option, and the watermelon and the pomegranate are bundled together as our, has caffeine and has sugar. But you can also mix and match those. And I will tell you what, watermelon with dragon fruit is really, really exceptional. And you should definitely think about trying it. We also, like I said, have a new Mango Energy Plus. The fun thing about our Mango Energy Plus is right now you're looking at two products that mix together to create kind of the flavor profile of your happy juice. Mango Edge Plus has the energy benefits in it. So it really is what we call a supercharged and simplified version to happy juice. So instead of mixing energy and edge with your Mentabiotics jar, you're actually just going to mix Edge Plus, the mango flavor, with Mentabiotics. So it is really simplified. You're going from 3 steps to 2 steps. And that one is designed specifically for that elevated focus and supercharged simplicity there. So it's pretty amazing, and one of my new favorite flavors. And I'm just going to tell you what, I periodically throw half a scoop of watermelon edge with the mango, and it is just out of this world. It's so delicious that way. So a little tip if you want to try it that way. So mixing your happy juice is so stinking easy. You can mix it with 12 to 20 ounces of water. And then of course you're going to take it daily. And this is one of the things that really is impactful is when you're using your happy juice daily. And I'm just going to tell you what, I came from a place in space where it was like, I was trying to limit my caffeine, limit my coffee. I don't want to be drinking soda. And sometimes I hear people come into happy juice and they're like, oh, like I was tired today, but I skipped my happy juice. Or maybe I was tired today and you had your happy juice, but maybe you need a second happy juice that day. I want to tell you that the ingredients in happy juice are not just fun and flavor, right? A soda is fun and flavor. We know that a soda is not serving your body. It's not supporting your gut health. It's not supporting your mental health. A soda is fun and flavor. What is happening in Amari's happy juice is not just fun and flavor. It is very targeted probiotics, prebiotics, right? Products that are going to help your body signal the way you want to signal. So if when you're starting out, you still feel like in the afternoon, you've been struggling with an afternoon crash, go ahead and mix yourself a second happy juice because all of those ingredients are going to go in to support your microbiome so you can start feeling better faster. And on this slide, I have just shared with you some of the most incredible testimonies that I have had from some customers recently, but I know there's so many more, right? And the people that invited you, if you want to have, testimonials and see some testimonials from them, I highly encourage you and would tell you, reach out to them. Say like, I want to see a couple testimonials. You can even get specific and say, I have ADHD. Can you show me some testimonials on that, right? I'm struggling with Crohn's. Has anybody with happy juice had any testimonials from that, right? Get very specific on some of the things, the IBS, the heartburn, those pieces to the puzzle that you really want to see improve, because I'm going to tell you what, happy juice has this really incredible knack of doing way more than you expect it to do. And it will surprise and delight you with all of the ways that it's going to really impact how you're feeling. Bloating, inflammation, stubborn weight loss, cortisol, hormone signaling, all of those things are really elements to what happy juice can do so stinking incredibly well. So with that, I've just got 2 more slides. So we are about to the end of this. And then, of course, if you have any questions, we can make time for that. And I am excited to share with you a little bit more about grabbing some freebies. Everything that you order is going to come in a really beautiful box. And let me get my face out of here so it can hopefully take care the blur off. Let's see if I can do this and not be blurry. Yes. Okay, right. Oh, there you go. I'll come back. So when you get all your happy juice, so whether this is a box for the watermelon, when you get your happy juice, whether you get the watermelon or whether you get the grape or whether you get the mango, everything is going to come in this really beautiful box. I'm missing my watermelon jar because I actually took it downstairs to make happy juice. But it's all in here and it's got the instructions right here. So it's literally, there's videos, there's a QR code to watch videos. Oh, here, let me try to do this so I can give you, oh, I'm so close. You're going to have to trust me. There's words there and you can read them. But it talks about what it does. It gives you links to learn more information and it gives you the step-by-step visuals. So it really is as simple as going ahead and getting started, getting it in your hands. And when the box comes, it's going to make it so easy to mix up and get started. So you don't have to feel like it's complicated by any means. Of course, the person that invited you is also going to be able to be such an incredible support for you as well. So definitely reach out to them. All right, let's get to the fun stuff because it just so happens that this morning a flash sale was launched. That's a 48-hour flash sale. And you can now grab 20% off your happy juice. It's like the perfect little sunshiny day for you now that you've had a chance to try your happy juice to go ahead and get your hands on some for yourself with a 30-day supply. Get this beautiful box in your hands. Here's the extra fun bonus about it. So mango happy juice is limited special pricing right now. So mango happy juice is not included in the 20% off flash sale, but that's okay because grape and watermelon both are. And we actually have an additional promo where you will get the cutest little free tumbler, little happy juice tumbler with your happy juice. So here's the deal. 20% off. It goes through tomorrow at midnight. You get to grab your happy juice at 20% off. you're going to get a free cup. You're going to get a free 3-day reboot to get your gut going. And if you want to talk to the person that invited you, you can also bundle in any additional products, and those are all going to be 20% off as well. So if you have got some specific goals in mind, so whether it's digestive because you're dealing with some heartburn or IBS or constipation type issues, if you have got a desire to focus on improving your mood and you want to add that mood plus, maybe you've got some kiddos that also you think could benefit from these products. You can bundle in some of our kids' products and get those for an additional discount as well. So I want you to really reach out to the person that invited you, say like, I'm ready to grab these, give me the 20% off, and start to talk very specifically about what your exact health goals are, because your brand partner is going to be able to bundle all of those things up for you and get them at a significant discount for the next 48 hours. So with that, all right, our goal was to show you how to mix it, right? You know, you can mix and match the flavors. It's literally as simple as pouring your products into a glass of 12, 16, 20 ounces of water, mixing it up and enjoying it, right? It's as simple as that. And you're going to start to feel the benefits immediately. But then also giving you the tools to know how you can serve your body today and hereafter. And that step is up to you, right? So you're going to hop on, talk to the person that invited you, start to set those goals for what you want to achieve with your health, and you're going to grab it all at 20% off. It's pretty darn simple. So with that, the last thing I want to leave you with is that we are going to be giving a discount. Well, not a discount. Sorry, I'm going to be giving 7 days of energy to one lucky person on this. So here's what I'm going to do is I have a group. I'm going to upload this video into it. And for those of you that are catching it on the replay, I'm going to have you comment gut when you get to this portion of the video, right? You got to make it to me, make it to the end.